Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are sitting down and chatting about skincare again, one of my favorite topics, and we are back together. You are here with your favorite internet esthetician, moi, and I'm gonna be sitting down and chatting to you guys about skincare for acne and things that I feel can be very beneficial for people who are struggling with acne. And yeah, if you're interested in seeing what I have to say, then please keep watching this video. Now, I do want to start off this video by saying if you are someone who struggles with acne, you don't have to feel ostracized or less than because you don't have ideally perfect skin. Now, I do like to emphasize as well that sometimes our acne is due to other health concerns. So with that being said, if you are someone who struggles with cystic acne, make sure that you are seeing your doctor. That would be my first tip, I guess. Make sure that you are seeing a doctor to analyze any other health things that may be impacting your skin. It could be a hormonal imbalance. It could be a whole lot of other body things that can be going on the inside that are just reflecting out into your skin. So I guess that would be my number one tip, is to, yes, go see a doctor first to make sure that your health is in check, because that would be something that is vitally important. Now, number two, I do want to mention there are a lot of things other than your skincare treatment that could be affecting your acne. Aside from, like I said before, any internal things, it could also be external factors that we cannot control out there. So it could be the weather, it could be extreme humidity, it could be a lot of stressful situations that you've been going through recently. So like I said, there's no need to beat yourself up or to ostracize yourself if you are struggling with acne. We all have had that kind of struggle at one point in our lives. Some of us still struggle with that from time to time. So it's really not a big deal. It's not something to worry extremely about. And make sure that you are not just stressing out about your acne. I feel like that's something that we put a lot of pressure on other women and girls out there to have perfect skin and things like that, and that's not always realistic for every single person out there. So I'm here to let you know that I see you and I appreciate you anyways. That being said, if you are struggling with acne and you would like to incorporate some skincare products into your routine just to help treat any of that acne concerns that you may have, I'm going to go ahead and give you some tips in this video, aside from the ones that I already gave, just to help you if you are interested in trying out some of these to see how they work. Now, skincare is not a one fits everyone, type of situation. It's not a universal code or anything like that. You do have to try out different things, see what works for you, see what doesn't. What works for me may not necessarily work for you. This is just my thoughts based on what I've seen as an esthetician and what I've recommended to people and what I've seen work generally. That being said, I'm not extremely perfect and I can't give you perfect advice. So take what I say with a grain of salt. Let's get into it. Now, first things first, I would like to recommend that you do clean your skin regularly with a cleanser. Now, it's really important when you have acne not to leave any oil or residue or makeup on for a prolonged amount of time, because all of those things tend to clog the pores. So that can also lead to more acne coming out. So, I do recommend, usually if you have that concern, to make sure that your skin is cleaned regularly. So I do usually recommend a morning and a nighttime cleansing routine. If you can squeeze another cleanser like in the middle of the day, maybe if you've just been out for like a really long exercise routine or a jog, or you've been out all day and you're very sweaty and you've been out on the street, then it would be a good idea to try to squeeze in some other cleansing routine in the middle of the day, just to make sure that you're not leaving any of that oil and residue and outside dirt on your skin and on those already active acne for way too long of a time. Now, some cleansers that I do really like to recommend is the CeraVe Renewing Essay Cleanser. I really love this cleanser for when there are a lot of active acne coming out and you want to get rid of them really quickly. This is a great one to use. The salicylic acid in there is going to help relieve that cystic acne faster than usual. And now I don't recommend you use this every single day. Maybe just use this at night a few times a week when it's really bad at that time, if you want to get rid of it in a quicker amount of time. But for maybe an everyday kind of use, I do like to recommend the Naturium Niacinamide Cleansing Gelée. The niacinamide in here is going to help balance oils in the skin, and it does really work at cleaning the skin from any dirt and grime from the day. So that works really well. And it has hyaluronic acid in it, so it is going to help hydrate the skin as well. We want to make sure that we are not stripping the skin from any good things that it could have and things like that. A lot of people tend to go a little extreme with their skincare routine when they have acne, and that's not always beneficial. You do want to have a nice balance, whereas you do want to keep your skin clean and you want to use products that are going to treat the acne. You don't want to overdo it and you don't want to stress out about it too much. I find that when I had really bad breakouts, the more I worried about it, the worse it was. So just learn to accept it and take it a day by day, and little by little, you'll see that it'll go getting better as time goes on. So those are the cleansers that I usually recommend. And if you want to squeeze in a more hydrating cleanser in the morning times, that's also really helpful, just to make sure that you're not overly stripping the skin and disturbing the moisture barrier of your skin. Now, you do have to moisturize your skin, and it's extremely important. A lot of people out there think that if you have oily skin, which tends to usually lead to acneic skin, that you don't have to moisturize, and you do have to moisturize. It is extremely important. Oils are not the same as water. Your skin does need water, and it has a moisture barrier that you need to tend to. So I usually recommend and I talked about this in my last video, but I'm going to talk about it again, the Hero Cosmetics Clear Collective Clarifying Prebiotic Moisturizer. This is a really great moisturizer for morning or nighttime, and it's not going to leave your skin feeling heavy or oily or greasy throughout the day. It's going to absorb really nicely, but it has some really nice ingredients in there. They're not going to disrupt your acne at any time. It's going to keep it very soothed, but also keep the rest of your skin barrier nice and hydrated. Sometimes when we use acne treating products, our skin tends to get very dry and flaky. That's just usually how it is. So it's really important to use some really nice hydrating moisturizers to make sure that you are counteracting that dryness as well. Now, some other tips that I want to leave with you is to make sure that you are not picking at your acne. And if you are going to want to get them extracted, I do recommend going to a professional, either a dermatologist or an esthetician, and getting a facial done, because we have our ways of doing it that's not going to damage the skin in any way, and as well as we use sterile tools and sterile environments. If you do it on yourself, usually you are going to be very rough with your own skin, and you are not going to ensure the amount of sterility that we can ensure. So it's probably best if you just leave it to a professional. I know it's hard, but I can promise you that you're going to have a better time with your skin in the long run if you allow a professional to do it as opposed to you doing it yourself. If you do have any active acne spots and you want to treat them yourself, I do really like the hydrocolloid patches. The Hero Cosmetics has a few of them. There's a lot of different brands who have them, and they're just like little patches that you can put over top of any whiteheads that you may have on your skin, and usually it sucks it out. You put it on overnight or you leave it for about 6 hours, and it will suck out any of that gunk in there, and then usually when you take it off, the blemish is nice and flush with the skin. So those are really great as well if you have any very active blemishes that you want to get rid of quickly. I love those. That's a little bit more difficult to use if you have a lot of cystic acne, which is why usually I recommend something like a salicylic acid cleanser if you have that sort of situation, because you can get a larger area of your face with that product as opposed to the patches, but they are really great if you just so happen to have one really big one that you want to treat. The hydrocolloid patches are really great at that. And lastly, do make sure that you are getting regular facial treatments with your esthetician. Now, this is going to help not only to extract the acne like we said, but it's also going to make sure that you get a deep exfoliation, a deep clean that you need, as well as treat any hyperpigmentation with specialized professional treatments and things like that that will just make a big difference. Try to do so at least once a month. I promise you, you'll see a big difference if you try to do it. It'll just boost whatever it is that you're doing at home, because we are trained to treat all of that situation. We know which products and which treatments to use at the same time. So listen to your esthetician, get your facials done once a month, and you'll notice a huge difference in your skin. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more of me. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye now.